L48% of a whole. What's our objective? Get ready?
Percent of a whole.
Percent of a whole. In this lesson, you will learn how to solve percentages using a 3-row ratio table. And you'll find out that it's actually really easy with the table. It helps sort your information of what you have and what you need to find out in a really logical way, and then you'll be able to solve. So we're talking percent questions that happen in the real world like this. Shannon answered 92% of the questions correctly, or she made 80% of her free throws, or the governor was elected with 56% of the vote. So you know in Utah, a state law just passed with 53% of the vote for medical marijuana. And you hear this in the news, you hear these percentages, and so you're going to get a lot of use out of today's lesson. Medical.
Marijuana is legal.
Medical marijuana is now. All right, 25% of the students ride the bus. If 210 do not ride the bus, how many students are there in all? So we're going to break it down, and we're going to use our ratio table. I'm going to wait till everyone's listening. All right, thank you, Dakota. Okay, so our categories are bus riders and non-bus riders. So I set up bus and not bus, and then I have a row for total. This column's for the percentages that they give me, and this column's for the actual count. So let's see, what do I know? 25% ride the bus. And then it says 210 do not ride the bus. So that's not a percent, that's an actual number. So I'm going to put this in the actual. And they're the non-bus riders. So this would be 210 goes here. Now what else can I figure out in my table? This is the part I like. Well, I know that the total percentages always add up to 100%. So if I know 25% rode the bus, how many would not ride the bus? Let's do that mentally. We're going to go 100 minus 25. Think. Get ready?
75%.
Good, 75%. So now reading, I have a blank spot here and here, but what does the question want me to find out? How many students are there in all? They're asking for a total. Once I've identified that, I'm going to circle the pairs of numbers that I know and the pairs of numbers that I want to know part of that pair. So then with those pairs, I'm going to write a ratio. 75 over 100 equals 210 over x. So my pairs of numbers become my proportion. What do I write with my pairs of numbers? Get ready?
Proportion.
My proportion. I'm going to show you how to solve this quickly on your calculator. So pass the calculators down quickly. Okay, with your calculators, I'm going to show you quickly how to set it up with our cross product, and then you can solve it using a calculator. So the cross product says multiply the diagonal numbers. 75 times x, we'll write it on the left side. And 100 times 210, we'll multiply that on the right side. Now, we learned inverse operations to isolate a variable. We want to isolate x. That's what we're solving for. So we have a 75 over here, and it's being times. So what operation would I use to isolate x? Get ready?
Division.
Okay, like 3 or 4 of you knew it, and the rest kind of followed. So it's being multiplied. The opposite of multiplication is division. That's our inverse operation. So we divide both sides by 75. That makes that turn into a 1. X is now by itself. But to keep a balanced equation, we divide both sides by 75. And so now we just need to type into our calculator 100 times 210. Hit enter. Leave the number in your display. Then hit the divide button. And 75. Put your pencil up when you've got it. Jake's got it. Kenzie's got it. Maggie, Alex, Olivia, Jenna, Bethany, Spencer, AJ. AJ, what'd you get?
280.
280. Raise your hand if you also got 280. Excellent. Anyone not sure how to use their calculator to compute that? Okay, good. Let's put the answer in the box. So just make sure, does it make sense? If there were 210 non-bus riders, would it make sense if there's 280 total students? That would make sense. If I had a smaller number down here, it wouldn't make sense. Your total always is going to be your biggest number. So check your answer, make sure it makes sense. Alex?
So why can't you just divide it by 3? So like 75% is 3 out of 4. So I just divided 210 divided by 3.
Okay.
And that accounts for
70.
For 25%. So
Okay.
70 equals 25%. And 70 times 4 equals 280.
Cool, I like that way. It kind of, I see what you did. You kind of made this like 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, great idea. You should do that. Okay, so if you're seeing like some of those shortcuts, I will let you do it. Just make sure you're showing your work, and then it follows the math logic, and you're keeping that true to the math laws. Let's try this one. Shanna correctly answered 17 of the 20 questions on the game show. What percent of questions did she answer correctly? Let's break down what we know. There's some questions were correct, some were incorrect, so then there was a total number of questions. This column will be for our percentages, this column is for the actual count. So 17 were correct out of 20 questions. Was 20 incorrect or was 20 the total? Think. Get ready?
Total.
Total. Do I now know how many incorrect questions she missed? There's 3 of them, right? Okay, because these two have to add up to 20. Now let's look at, did you see what I just did? Dakota, is that what you're going to tell me? Mrs. Boone, you put everything in the wrong column. Okay, what percent of the questions did she answer correctly? Uh-oh, I don't know this, but I do know this. Jacob?
So, it'll be 100%.
Good.
All you need to do is make it a fraction, 17 over 20 and 3 over 20.
So why did you pick 17 over 20?
Because 17 over 20 is 20 easily goes into 100.
Okay, we'll pause. But why did you pick 17 and not 3?
Because 17 is the correct.
It says how many did she answer correctly? So make sure you're solving for the right thing that they're asking. So we're gonna build our proportion. Okay? So this is the pair I'm interested in. This is the pair I know. So I use that number over that number equals this number over this number. Now let's use our calculators and do a quick cross product and solve. 20 times x equals 100 times 17. And I'll show you the shortcut next. We're going to divide by 20 and divide by 20. Type that into your calculator. 100 times 17 over 20. As soon as you have that, put your pencil up. Alex is looking at this thinking, Mrs. Boone, I see a shorter way to do this. You are, aren't you? Hiram's got it, Spencer, Maddie has it. But I want you to make sure you know why the shortcuts work. So you have to do it the math law way, and then you can start using your shortcuts. Lucas, you got it? Okay, tell me what you got.
85.
85. Raise your hand if you also got 85. Okay, good. And that's a percent. That's what we found right here, 85%. Because it makes sense. 17 and 20, 17 is almost 20. Is 85 almost 100? So it has to make sure it looks proportionate. And I can figure out this one too. Here's 2 shortcuts I want to show you. Is there a relationship between the 20 and the 100? What would I times 20 by to get 100? Think. Get ready? 5. Good. Can I assume that relationship is all true for this relationship?
Yes.
Always? Yes. So 17 times 5, that is 85. 2 times 5, so 15% of the questions are incorrect, and those 2 should always add up to 100. All right, one more shortcut on your calculator. Whatever pair you have in your proportion, those 2 you can just times in your calculator, and then the odd number out, whatever number doesn't have a pair, just hit the divide and put that in your calculator. There's another shortcut for you. Okay. All right, that is it for today. We're on page 327.